So morning everybody, this is day 4 and it got down to -2 last night, believe it or not. You know what, that's the first time both of us have slept in these kind of temperatures, and I think it worked. I was toasty warm all night. So I just want to show you guys our setup because it did work for us, and Paul and I have got kind of slightly different setups, so I'm going to get Paul to just show you what his setup is and then I'll tell you what I've got. So first of all, what did you wear in the night, clothes wise?
I wasn't wearing all this. So I wore a merino wool t-shirt with this like quite a thick fleece on top. In fact, I started off not wearing the fleece, but during the night I put the fleece on because it started to get cold.
Yeah.
So I ended up with merino wool t-shirt, fleece.
You didn't have any trousers on or leggings?
Just my undies. And so it's sleeping bag liner from sea to summit.
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
And then it's just inside here. It's like a black kind of cottony material.
Paul's got this, the sleeping bag is down, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a down sleeping bag. So that's the kind of material the sea to summit is. It's kind of a cottony, technical type material, but it's
quite strong looking actually, isn't it?
It's quite strong, and it's got a drawstring, so it's good because you can draw it around your neck.
It's got like a little hood that you put with it.
It says it's 100% polyester actually, but it doesn't feel like artificial polyester.
Yeah.
And then I've got this down sleeping bag that I've had for years. It's a Montaigne. It's really good, but it's not good enough on its own.
That's I guess that's a 3-season sleeping bag, isn't it?
So I needed, because I can kind of cope with the cold as well. I don't normally feel the cold, but I still needed liner, that, and merino t-shirt and fleece.
And the fleece, you had to get up to
and
put your fleece on.
And I had the hat on as well, and I had to draw that right round my head, so it's basically just
so you get the down around your head as well.
Yeah.
I had a similar thing, except I do it a little bit. Here, do you want to hold it? What?
And then important as well, the sleep mat. I've got quite a thick sleep mat, which is the Thermarest.
So this is Thermarest, yeah.
Neo Air. And then underneath we've got this kind of foil-based thing, which is another layer of insulation.
It's quite a thin layer, but it is just like another protective layer against the cold that you get from the floor. Right, do you want to just do the honours? Right, so my setup, fairly similar in some ways. I've got a Thermarest mat. It's a slightly different one to Paul's. It's actually a bit thinner. These are your socks, aren't they? Alright, so I was reading online that if you've got a down sleeping bag, obviously if you get it wet, it's not going to work, and then if it's wet and damp, it doesn't keep you warm anymore. So I was reading online that if you put a synthetic sleeping bag on the outside of your down sleeping bag, then any condensation that comes off you in the night, it goes through the breathable sleeping bag, the down one, and through the breathable synthetic one, and it gathers on the outside, so all the moisture doesn't collect in the actual down. And you know what, I think it worked, because this morning it was slightly damp on the outside. You can still see it actually, look, there's a bit of moisture on this sleeping bag here. So this is one I got from Go Outdoors, 2-season Fathom 200 it's called. It's quite a cheap sleeping bag. Got it for when it's really, really hot in summer. It's particularly lightweight, which is why I got it. My sleeping bag is a hike and bike one. Down sleeping bag. I found that their prices are quite reasonable. You can find them on Amazon. And this is, if I remember rightly, it's a 3-season one. It's definitely not a 4-season one. Okay, and then inside that, I can find it. I've got this, and it is 100% silk liner. It's not as strong as Paul's. I would say it's probably likely to rip at some time. It has a hood on it, so I put the hood over as well. So I've got like 3 hoods worth plus the hood on my jacket. And I think it helps though, because it does say that it raises the temperature of your sleeping bag by like 10 degrees, which is quite a lot, especially if it goes down to -2. But my feet were warm, my legs were warm, everything was warm, even my nose was warm, I guess because it was all tucked inside my hoods and things. So yeah, so there you have it. That's our sleep setup. Managed to get the gas light again. Sort of hobbling to the end of our trip on this. Sounds very pathetic this morning, but hopefully it'll be enough to just make a quick hot drink with. Right, so that was our spots. We've just cleared everything away, as you can see. Leave no trace. Nothing here at all. What a beautiful morning. Gosh, it's like an idyllic spot. We were just saying we think it's like the best spot that we've ever camped in. Gorgeous, nobody around. Monday morning, off we go. Looks like we just found another one of these stones that are on the route. Gosh, I'm not sure I can work out the reading on this one. It's got a kind of spiral here. It actually looks like the writing's the other way up. It's all going vertical. Yeah, I can't make out anything with that, I'm afraid, guys. But there we go. Stone number 4. Just come across this beautiful tree in this, it's still in the military firing range, keep out section. But hey, look at it. I don't know how old it is, but it's just grand. Look at all those trunks coming off. Beautiful. We've just been walking down here. Not too much to report really. It's kind of straight, and a bit more straight. Look, more straight to go. But it's nice. Wooded. Oh, squirrel just crossed our path. We've been looking out for woodpeckers because we can hear them a lot, but we haven't had much luck, unfortunately. So I think it's 9 miles to the end now, and the plan is just to carry on going, obviously. But when we get there, it doesn't actually stop at Thetford, which is a bit inconvenient. It stops at Knettishall Heath, and Knettishall Heath is, I think, about, I don't know, like 7 miles from Thetford. So basically we're going to have to call a taxi to get to Thetford station. I'm really hoping that we've got a phone signal when we get there, because so many places in Norfolk do not have a phone signal. So if we don't have a phone signal, we're going to have to walk along the road until we get a phone signal, or until we get to Thetford. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Or maybe hitch a lift, I don't know. Rather not have to do that, to be fair. Coming up to the A1075 that we've got to cross, which is quite a busy road. Right, this is the 1075. Here's our sign, Peddars Way. Looks like we have to go a bit further down here and then cross over. Alright, time to cross over. God, car's going quickly here. Just spotted a Peddars Way sign over there. Some really pretty houses around here. Shame they're right next to this busy road though. Look, Peddars Way. It says Knettishall Heath 6¼ miles. I just turned around and I was like, where's Paul? Realised that he's just gone into a house to ask for some water. We've got very little water left. I'm so thirsty, all I can think about is water. We left with like half a litre each this morning, which is basically like a cupful, isn't it? It's hardly anything. And I just want to drink it all right now. He's astute, isn't he? So how about that? Look, Paul's got his shorts on. I look slightly less homeless because I've taken off my waterproof trousers and my down jacket. It's starting to get a little bit warmer now. Oh, so we're feeling good again. And we've got water, which I'm well happy about. So I'm going to slug a load of that down in a minute. I feel so much better, I think. And we've got this nice wooded path now we're going to carry on. Yeah, there you go. So that's the way we're going to go. Pretty paths. Passing, I think this village is actually called Stonebridge. So we've done Stonebridge. Now on the way out again. Oh, look at these little guys. I've spotted some little lambs in the field here. All sitting down in the sun. Little cuties. Cute little duck area. Looks like we've got some kind of exotic ducks. There's a few over there. There's one sleeping just over there. Some black ducks. I've never seen black ducks before. Or they're geese. They look like geese actually, don't they? Enjoying this path a lot today. It's nice, easy walking. Lots of nice things to look at on the way. Some more geese. Hello geese. Hello. Just came across a really nice little patch of dry grass. So Paul wanted to dry the tent out. Make sure it's nice and light. I'm doing alright today, I think. I'm just eating a snack bar, you can probably hear. So far I think we've done about, I don't know, we're like 2 hours in. We seem to be walking at about 2.5 miles an hour if we don't stop too much. So, I don't know, probably done like 3-4 miles. And we've got another 5 or 6 to do. It's all good. All good. Coming up to the railway crossing. This is the main line to London, I think, from Norwich to London Liverpool Street. Ah, it's sending us left. Perhaps we go underneath Peddars Way. So this is the crossing. Got to go underneath the railway line. There's the railway line on top. It's pretty muddy. Just about tall enough for a person. Back into woodlands again. Oh, little. Oh, it's a squirrel. Just a squirrel. You can hear the A11. We're coming up quite close to the A11. We could see some cars in the distance from back there. I can hear them now as well. So that'll be a sort of interesting moment. I think we have to kind of leg it across there. Traffic goes very quickly and there's no pedestrian crossing or anything. You just have to run over the road. Alright, this is the A11. Jeez, they go fast. So we can cross halfway. Shit, this is going to be well scary. Alright, nice big gap. Luckily it's not rush hour. There's less of a gap this way, we're going to have to wait a little bit I think. Alright, we made it. Had to wait a while for across the second half. The sign there obviously says Peddars Way this way, and it says Knettishall Heath is 4 miles away. So that's what we've got left. Just come across another big tree crossing the Peddars Way. We're just trying to remember how many we've actually seen crossing the path. Must be, I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that. Little squirrel. tree as well.
They knocked the other one over as well.
Oh yeah, it's like fallen on that tree and knocked another tree over. I think they must have redone the signage. We're just commenting that the signage on the route is all looking quite new. There's maybe one broken one. There was one that looked like it had been sawn off, like on purpose, maybe by the landowner. But look, just come across another little one. There's a lot of these little stubby ones that guide you on the way. And because it's quite a straight line, very, very easy navigating. I mean, we didn't really need a map at all, to be honest. Could have easily done it without. We have been using the OS map a bit, especially perhaps around Castle Acre, where the route gets a bit more interesting and wiggly. But in general, it's just a straight line, you know. Beautiful woodland forest paths we're walking through. This is like a real treat to be finishing on these kind of paths. Gorgeous day, nice temperature, about probably 10 degrees. Just come across perfectly positioned seats to have a little break. John Adams Thwaite, Larry Field 2017. Not sure who they are, but a nice view from their bench. Time to eat the last tracker bar. Probably got about 3 miles left now, I should think, haven't we, Paul?
Yeah, not far.
So we thought we'd just give you a bit of a summary of what we thought about the route, basically, because we're almost at the end, so I think we're kind of fairly qualified to tell you about the whole route. So, highs and lows. All right, what should we start with, the highs or the lows?
Lows, I think.
Lows?
End up on a high.
Okay. So, low moments or low patches of the route. Personally, I didn't like having to walk on too many like tarmacked roads. Just want to go out on footpaths. What about for you?
Yeah, there were a few like roads, weren't there? Not majority of roads, but there were a few roads, weren't there? Especially that A road bit.
Going through Castle Acre was nice, but then we ended up walking on a lot of roads.
Another low is just finding places, easy places to get food and stuff. You had to kind of go off route a bit to find pubs and things.
It was
like
quite
that.
difficult, like finding easy, like water filling up places. And the scenery on, I think day 2. I mean, the first day we had, you know, the Norfolk, because we started at Hunstanton, we had a bit of the Norfolk Coast Path, so that was pretty. And then it was a lot of fields, so there wasn't a lot to look at once we got on the Peddars Way. And the second day was a little bit bland for scenery as well, I would say. But okay, let's do the high moments then.
So all the lovely forests.
Lovely woodlands and forests areas. Yeah, and hardly anybody walking this route. You've got it to yourself. Like, we didn't really come across other walkers, so it was quite remote, I would say. And that's a really nice plus, because there's not that many places you can go and be completely alone these days.
And we are in March as well, so there's probably not many people out.
I suppose, yeah. It's
too cold for
close to
everyone
the end of March at the moment. So, but the Priory I actually thought the big kind of ruined thing was in the Castle Acre was the castle, but it's not. It's the Priory is the massive like highlight that you want to see. There's a castle there as well, which we showed you, which is a pleasant area, but not as spectacular as the Priory. I found that amazing. That was very pretty.
That was in Castle Acre, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Castle
and there was the Nar River that went through. That was lovely. And okay, camping wise, well, I mean, we had two sort of fairly, I would say, unlucky wild camps in that we got caught by the farmers on both of those days, and that was a bit stressful in the mornings. I don't actually know if the farmers really cared. I have a feeling that we didn't get caught by the farmers themselves, but the farm hands, because the guys looked fairly young that were driving the tractors we saw. So they probably didn't care, to be honest.
They didn't actually say anything to us.
Didn't say anything
They
at all to
ignored
us, but it did worry us that we were going to get reported or something was going to happen. But last night that was just beautiful. Staying at Thompson Water, that was a massive highlight for me. I just thought that was a delightful place to stay, and you feel like you're completely safe, you're completely connected to nature as well. We heard lots of owls in the night, woodpeckers, and all the water birds that you hear. It was just so lovely, and you couldn't hear any cars or motor vehicles like in the distance, which you often can, can't you, these days? So you're completely remote. So I mean, obviously it's not a very hilly route. Sounds like some motorbikes coming.
Yeah. The nature was a highlight as well. Loads of birds and loads of bird song.
Yeah, if you're into bird watching, absolutely bring a binoculars with you or something, and a bird book, or maybe you know it already. We're a bit novice to that. We want to learn more about the names of birds, but we heard lots of bird songs that we don't recognise that I'd love to look up when I get home, to be honest. So all in all, not spectacular, I would say, but a really pleasant, lovely walk, and you can fit it in a weekend. And because it's not so hilly, you don't need huge fitness levels to make it work for you. The path seems to have lots of obstructions in it. We keep having to like push past bits of ivy that have fallen over, and jungle like. Look, we've just come across some more pigs. You hear them all noshing away. Just come across an old World War II bomb crater. Look at the size of that. Knettishall Heath, 2.5 miles away. This is the bit that says we may get flooding on the next section. I don't think we will because it's been so dry. I believe this is a bit of a boardwalky section coming up, if I remember rightly. Looks like it's been covered in water a few times, doesn't it? Yeah, the water's pretty close. I guess when the water table comes up. I was wondering about it because it's been spring tides. I think it was spring tides yesterday. So, but it's obviously been so dry. We're fine. Don't think we're going to get wet feet today. Love this forest. Look, you can't see the other side of it. It's very big. Another fallen tree in the road. Just saw a deer. I've been looking out for wildlife. I've seen absolutely loads of hares. Some deer, lots of squirrels in here. You can hear another road, so I guess we're gonna. Gosh, the light in this forest is beautiful. Gorgeous. Yep, across another road. Just did another one back there. This is a bit of a busier one. This, well, bigger. Bigger, not busier. There's no traffic at all. 1066 possibly, I think. Ooh, 1.5 miles now it says. Getting there. But yeah, we're following, I think this is an electric fence actually. Trying not to touch it. Few little woody bits on the other side. Sort of slowly coming into what seems to be Knettishall Heath. But a lot of walking along the edge of a field back there. And then apparently just down here is where the car park is. I'm not sure if they're trying to keep us out or something else, but we're basically walking in between two electric fences. This wire at the bottom of this one is electric, and the top one on that one is electric. So sometimes we get these little muddy patches where you want to walk around the edge. It's a little bit taking your life in your hands, you know. Almost there. You see the glint of a car in the distance. I think that's where it ends. Ending on this nice little woody path. So this is the official end of the walk. Look, Peddars Way, public footpath, Holme-Next-Sea, 46 miles. I think that's basically all we get. It's a car park. There's a car, and here we are. Yay! So we're at the end of the Peddars Way, and there's the sign to prove it. There's no like official plaque or anything. There is a stamp attached to the signpost, and here we are in this remote car park, and now we've got to work out how to get back to Thetford. But it's been a really nice walk, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fab. Yeah, really good.
Amazing
weather for March.
Amazing weather. 4 days of sunshine, slight cool breeze, refreshing cool breeze, and just beautiful walking, calm, flat, easy walking. It's been a really good trip. So we shall be back. But the only comment I would make is doing it north to south, you have the sun in your eyes pretty much the whole time. So if that's a consideration you want to look at, then I recommend starting here and going up to Hunstanton and finishing by the sea. Cheers! See you next time.